Do men really mature slower than women? If so, then why are women encouraged to be patient with men instead of men being encouraged to catch up to women? Is it that we as women are really being played? Hi, my name is Sharika Matthews, life coach, relationship expert, and creator of Feminine Success Mastery. And today I want to talk to you about a concept called toxic patience and how this creates relationships that are toxic, that are unfulfilling, and that are unhappy. So, what is toxic patience? Toxic patience is the patience that women have when they're in relationship with men who are not on their level. It's the patience that they have waiting on men to grow and to mature. It's the patience that they have waiting on men to decide if they want kids, waiting on men to decide if they really want to be married, waiting on men to decide if they really want monogamy or if they really want the polygamous lifestyle. They're constantly waiting on men to be the man that they want them to be. But in the meantime, what they're doing, they're not just patiently waiting, they are praying and hoping and crying and pleading for this man to change, praying and pleading for God to come in and make him realize that he has a good woman, make him realize how valuable that you are to him, and make him want to commit to you on a higher level and meet your needs and your desires. See, that is what toxic patience is. But it's that toxic patience that keeps you stuck in relationships way past its expiration date. Toxic patience is what makes you justify being unhappy, makes you ignore your feelings of being unfulfilled, making you accept behavior that would otherwise be unacceptable to you. And toxic patience also leads to shame. It also leads to embarrassment. It also leaves you hiding yourself, hiding your relationship from your close friends and family, and also from the world. Ladies, that is no way to live. That is so not how relationships are supposed to work. But let me tell you what toxic patience really is self-deception. You see, when you are hiding yourself and hiding your relationship from the world, then you are not living in truth. When you are not accepting the man for who he is and where he is, but always constantly making excuses for him or covering up for him or trying to force him to grow and to change, you're not living in the truth of who he is, the truth of what your relationship is, and the truth of what you need and what you desire out of a relationship. That is self-deception. Now, the textbook definition of self-deception is it is the practice of allowing yourself to believe a false or unvalidated feeling, idea, or situation as truth. Let me repeat that for you. Self-deception is the practice of allowing yourself to believe that a false or unvalidated feeling, idea, or situation as true. You have accepted this idea that men mature slower than women. You have accepted this idea that he cannot find a job come hell or high water. You have accepted this idea that he doesn't know how to love a woman. That's why he treats you as badly as he does. You have accepted this idea that you have to work hard for the relationship, that you have to carry the weight of the relationship on your shoulders all the time by yourself for the rest of your life. That is self-deception. That is not true. That is the truth, if you will, that you've created for the sake of staying with this man, for the sake of saying that you have a relationship. And that is not how you truly want to live. That is not how you truly want to be loved. That is not how truly you want to give love. You desire to be in a relationship where the love and the care and the support is reciprocal. That's what you truly desire. But yet, we dress up this toxic patience as godly patience and godly hope. And unfortunately, God ain't nowhere in that. So the question is, how do you snap yourself out of this self-deception? How do you snap yourself out of this toxic patience and dressing itself up as the truth and accepting all of these lies and excuses as the truth instead of facing what the truth really is? How do you do that? One of my favorite ways to do this, and I use this method in a lot of areas of my life, and I help my clients do this too, and that is to collect the evidence, collect the data. I'm one of those women whose favorite shows are going to be CSI, Law and Order, Criminal Minds, things of that nature. And so the recurrent themes of these shows is that you have to collect the data. You have to collect the evidence. And when we say collect the evidence in relation to self-deception and toxic patience, what I mean by that is you want to look around you, look at your mate, look at the relationship, look at the results that you're getting, look at the evidence that your relationship is producing, and ask yourself, what is this evidence telling me about this person? What is this evidence telling me about this relationship? What is this evidence telling me about me? You see, what we tend to do is that we want to say, this pen is a yellow pen, but in reality, this is a multicolored pen. This is a multicolored pen, but we acknowledge the fact that it's a pen, but we're not acknowledging the fact of what it truly is. And so you want to take the blinders off of yourself. You want to take the fear, because that's what's really driving you, is the fear. You want to take the fear out of the equation. You want to take the blinders off. You want to have unfiltered access to your life, unfiltered access into the unfiltered insight into yourself, unfiltered insight into the relationship, and unfiltered insight into the person that you're with. So let me give you an example. Let's say the guy that you're with right now, he got laid off back in March, right? And he hasn't found a job yet. And it's been 10, 11 months now. And he's asking you to be more patient with him because he knows that you're taking on all of the financial responsibility for you, for him, and possibly even his own kid. That's not even your kid, right? So the question is, do you continue to have patience with him or do you not? So how do we apply collecting the evidence or collecting the data, right? The way you do that is simply by asking yourself questions. So you can ask yourself the question, number one, what does the evidence say about his job searching effort? Like, how many jobs is he looking for every day? How many jobs has he applied for? How many interviews has he applied for? Has he gotten counseling or coaching on how to apply better or interview better, things of that nature? Ask yourself, what does the evidence say about him finding a way to make $1 out of 15 cents? I put this question in there because we as women, we are known for finding creative ways to get the resources we need in order to have our needs met. Is he going through the same length to make sure that his needs are met so that he's not so much of a burden to you? The next question is, what does the evidence say about him thinking outside of the box? Is he willing to sell a few pairs of his shoes to put some food on the table? Is he willing to donate blood or donate plasma to put some food on the table? Is he willing to become a construction worker or a truck driver or some other profession that he doesn't really desire in order to make ends meet in the interim until he could find a better paying job? What is he willing to do? Is he thinking outside the box? Then ask yourself, what are the results? What are the results that he has had over the past 10 months? Has there been any progress? Why or why not? Because here's the thing, every seed that you plant, if you plant the seed in fertile ground, you're going to have a harvest. So you're going to see some evidence. He may not have a job because the economy is really bad, but he has several interviews. He's gone the whole way of getting to the second, third level interviews, but it just didn't work out in the end. See, that's the type of evidence to say that he is doing his own work, that he is putting himself out there, that he is taking responsibility for himself and for his life and not accepting this narrative that that men mature slower than women, that men have a harder time than women. And some of it may be true, but he doesn't accept it as a limitation. He sees it as a challenge to be pushed past so that he can become the best version of himself, so that he can add value to your life, so that he can help and partner with you in creating the best relationship possible between the two of you. That is how you collect the evidence. That's how you ask yourself, am I having toxic patience or am I really having real patience? But here's the thing: when it comes to, you collected the evidence and now you've decided that you won't extend your patience, that you won't extend your grace. Here's the thing about that. And I see women get stuck at this point too. They don't want to be seen as a bad person, as a mean person, as an unloving person, and things of that nature. We're so concerned about how others would perceive us. We make decisions that are healthy for us. I want you to shift from that fear, because here's the thing: people are going to judge you whether you do or whether you don't. So you might as well do what you need to do in order to keep yourself happy, healthy, and whole. But also, just because you choose not to extend your patience doesn't mean that he's a bad person. What that may mean is that this simply is not the best time for the two of you to be in a relationship together. He may need this time to really invest in himself, invest in his personal growth, invest in his career, get his finances in order, get his health in order, do whatever it is he needs to do. Reevaluate his life priority, so that if the two of you are able to come together at a later time, he's better prepared, he's more mature, he's ready to take responsibility for himself and some responsibility for the relationship. It's okay that you may have to withdraw your grace or withdraw your patience or even withdraw your presence from the relationship, because you have to begin with the end in mind. I love this quote by Stephen Covey: begin with the end in mind, knowing that what you're working towards is for the greatest good of you both, not just for you, not just for him, but the greatest good for the both of you. And sometimes that means not being together. But if you do decide to extend your grace and extend your patience, you have to really understand what having patience means. Let me give you the textbook definition. To be patient means that you are willingly suppressing your restlessness and your annoyance when your needs and expectations are not being met. I'm gonna let this sit with you for a minute. Because I know some of us, when we get annoyed, the whole world knows, okay? But to be patient means that you are willingly suppressing, you pushing it down, your restlessness and your annoyance when your needs and your expectations are not being met. That means that you're not walking around with an attitude, you're not riding his coattail, you're not constantly throwing it in his face about what he is and what he ain't doing. That's not what that means. What that means is when you decide to extend your grace and your patience, what that means that you have released your attachment, released your emotional attachment to the results, to the process, and you are fully trusting him to uphold his end of the bargain. That is what patience means. But mama didn't raise no fool either. So while you are still being patient with him, continue to collect the data. Continue to collect the evidence. That's why you don't want to, you're not creating an environment where toxic patience is the norm. You're creating an environment where healthy and conditional patience is the norm. I'm going to go more into this concept of conditional patience inside of my private community, Relationship Success for High Achieving Women. If you want to join me there, all you got to do is go to relationshipsuccessforwomen.com. All right, you guys, I hope that this video was insightful for you and that you have gained some information, some tips that will help you improve your relationships. So until next time, be bold, walk in your brilliance, and be completely unstoppable in the pursuit of your heart's true desire in your life and in your relationships. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.